by decent amount of burst that Team Secret is picking up, right? We already talked about the Bounty Hunter, even Witch Doctor can add some good extra damage up against that, not to mention Tiny with his burst combo, and now the Batrider as well, to find an initiation and take one of these heroes out of the fight immediately. If you manage to protect him, then he can definitely work as a core and turn things around with crazy amounts of damage. Not just magical, but of course edicts being physical damage. Unless you have like a bunch of units from Beastmaster or Lycan or something like that to soak up some of that, or the Creep Wave next to you. It is not just good against towers, it's also good at helping burst down heroes. So for now, Lifestealer though, it could still be a 9 Leshrac for the safe lane. Lifestealer also being played by Oliver in mid more often than not.
That's Team Secret. You know, I do like the Lifestealer pickup. You know, it's another sort of like tower hitting hero. You know, gets siege. You definitely need somebody to sort of like frontline for the Enchantress and the Sand King, for example. And also, it's a good combo with his Sand King with any other roamer, really. But Team Secret is definitely prepared for this already. Tiny and Batrider are two excellent heroes against the Lifestealer. You know, Tiny, a lot of raw physical damage, and then Batrider, of course, with the lasso. They even have the Witch Doctor with the Death Ward, also just physical damage. So I don't think you're really scared of the Lifestealer, per se. It's just difficult. It can be difficult to deal with him, depending on the stage of the game. The open wounds are definitely good against the Tiny. It's a sort of love-hate relationship between these two. You know, Tiny technically can be good against Lifestealer, but I guess actually recently with the nerf to Toss not being able to target Magic Immune heroes anymore, it's not as good of a counter anymore as it used to be. Because before he could just toss him away when he reached TPs, and now he can't do that anymore. So yeah, I don't know. Still very solid lineups from both teams, really. Very almost standard in a way. At least from Secret, for sure. The Tiny's a comfort pick from them. At Perfect World Masters, they almost first phase picked it pretty much every series. It started phasing out towards the end because they, you know, tried to change things up a little bit with Ace. Not with Ace, with CTY. But generally speaking, they really love the Tiny pick. Ace is just a really good Tiny player overall.
Oh yeah. But yeah. I mean, of course you have this classic matchup, Lifestealer against Batrider, so most likely not even going to end up mid for Oliver. He's probably still going to play it, but they have a lot of flexibility here between a 1 and 2 position, regardless between him and 9. And now, going to have to settle for a decision. This is going to be a Call Leshrac, but with a Creator Pain picked up now, doesn't really seem like it.
It probably is an offlane Enchantress.
It should be Boogie Enchantress.
Yeah,
I haven't seen him run anything else.
I've never seen DNZ run Enchantress, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I think it's a solid lineup. It's very mid-game heavy, of course. You know, the classic sort of like mid-game aggressive lineup. You know, they have the Queen Infest bomb, sort of. And I'm not surprised that Team Secret respond with a Dusa pickup, really. Because the later the game goes, the more difficult it's going to be for this lineup to fight into the Dusa. They have a good mid-game lineup already that can, you know, what we've seen from what we've seen from Kingwin in the last game. They have a really good lineup to sort of fight without the Dusa. They have a lot of damage. They don't need the Dusa to fight early on at all.
Yep.
Have a lot of burst damage. Can pretty much kill anybody really in a lasso. Maybe not the Lifestealer is if he gets the rage off before. But generally speaking, I really like Team Secret's lineup. Penta's lineup isn't bad, but I think they're on a bit of a timer.
I think they have to execute, right? They have to almost outplay Team Secret some of the time here in this early game. Try and secure these lanes. Try and get the enchantments off the ground. Like, get her a few items early on. Armen on the support Leshrac, right? You to see what he can actually do. Like, if they are able to get close to towers, to use that edict to push them down. Try and restrict the map control for Team Secret a little bit, or whether they'll be able to counterplay that particular play. It's a lot of question marks here. This is certainly a Penta lineup, so again, when it comes to comfort zones, they're right in it. Question is, can they make this kind of a strat work up against Team Secret? It certainly works against the other teams, but well, this is a tier 1 team here that we're talking about.
I think this game is, or I mean, I guess you could say this about pretty much any game in general, but lanes are going to be really, really important here.
Yeah.
We've seen last game what can happen if you give a Dusa lane Dusa lineup a really good laning stage, and obviously if you're, you know, Penta, already sort of like a mid-game, very focused lineup, you don't want to give them the early game. So what you want to do is pressure them as much as possible. If not the Dusa, then at least the other 4 heroes. If you give the Dusa free farm, that's totally fine as long as you keep the other heroes down. You can't just do what Evil Corporation did last game and basically give Dusa a good time and the other 4 heroes as well.
DNZ running at 3 heroes already. It's not off to a good start. He does have the burst strike, get himself a little bit away, and then the stun. Make sure that the Bat Rider cannot continue to stick up the stick in napalm. DNZ will get away with his life there, but gotta be careful about these kind of things.
Bit of an interesting move. He walked up very aggressively without a ward even. So
his team, like,
yeah.
Everything.
And now he ate a tango and is going back to base anyway. That's a wasted tango, DNZ.
Well, should be fine regardless. Alright, Boogie down bottom Enchantress. Looks like Vata are gonna look towards that matchup. Secret dodging that out entirely.
The battle begins.
Penta can still react to it here with the TPs, but Secret just use their own to match Ace up against whoever they want to match him up against, essentially.
So they want this. It's interesting that they want this lineup or this matchup. I mean, they do definitely have kill potential onto this Bat Rider. You know, open wounds into Split Earth. That's almost always a kill just because they have a lot of burst damage. But the top lane, Enchantress versus Tiny and the Bounty Hunter on top, it's not an easy matchup at all. Not with the new Tiny.
Especially since Boogie is late. He's not gonna get a lot of experience out of this first wave with Tiny. Already getting close to level 2.
Fata with the Oddset XD. Again, these are friends. Our men, Fata, you know, these guys, they know each other.
Fine, tussle up against each other. So that does leave the mid lane. Mid 1 versus 9, Medusa versus Quap. Could be Quap favored unless you tank one too many Mystic Snakes. But Yapzor up against DNZ, range versus melee. These kind of supports in the middle lane can turn things around a little bit more in favor of Team Secret.
I actually don't know if this is really co-op favored. Dusa is pretty tanky hero in general, has a lot of damage to last it with, and can generally harass the Queen of Pain as well, especially with the... I mean, like you said, you know, with the Mystic Snake, and of course also, even with the new Split Shot. I mean, it's not an easy matchup for both sides, really, I don't think. And it's never going to be a true 1v1 anyway because of these supports.
Oh yeah. It's mostly coming down to whether you can land these Mystic Snakes. Oh, what? Boogie up top actually gets run down.
This is why I wasn't too sure about this Enchantress matchup against the Tiny Bounty Hunter, because they have a lot of kill potential into her. Tiny with the tree early on is just so annoying to deal with as Boogie. Because effectively, there's no range advantage for Boogie anymore with that tree. And he can always constantly harass Boogie with the cleave.
Yep.
And then obviously burst stones. You know?
It's so far off to a good start up top. Meanwhile on bottom though, they're gonna go on Farda, try and get... Oh, nice play, trying to get him away, but Sun will still connect. Farda tanky enough at level 3 to withstand that also herself to work with. Oliver unable to burst him down, and well, at the very least is loading him out, and now DNZ even making rotation. Gonna try again, slows from an early point up to the Lightning Storm. Burst Strike will connect. Oliver, does he have another slow available here? He does indeed, they're committing, and they're gonna get this kill despite Yapzor rotating in. Not a whole lot that he can do. Against a Rage Up Lifestealer doing most of that last bit of damage that they needed.
Yeah, but for Yapzor it's still pretty good. They don't waste any experience whatsoever because he immediately TPs in. He gets a bit of free experience, maybe even a last hit or two. But yeah, a bit unfortunate for Penta that they don't get that early, or that first kill already onto the Bat Rider. If our men had been level 2 and had the slow from the Static Storm already, or whatever it's called, Lightning Storm, sorry, I think that would have been a kill, or should have been a kill, but he only just hit level 2. Mid lane.
We'll try mid, yeah, mid one.
Should be a kill.
Yeah, he was across on the other side, so there's plenty of time for DNZ to rotate in. Arman with the TP does have the extra slow into the stun. Doesn't actually have the mana here with the Mystic Snake stealing some of it, but they're still running him down regardless. DNZ will also not tank enough tower shots. Yeah.
Great
At
rotation.
the same time, Boogie ended up falling up top again, didn't he?
Yeah. Really good awareness from DNZ. He saw that Yapso TP and bottom and immediately walked mid because he knew with Yapso TPing mid he cannot rotate or TP to answer to this gank, and he obviously wouldn't be mid anymore. So really easy kill for Penta, and this is good awareness from them.
With the wave pushing out, mid one was all the way on the other side, so not close enough to the tower to really rely on that protection to make Penta think twice about diving it.
Landing stage so far, I'd say it's pretty balanced. Yeah, you lose this bottom lane, but it's to be expected, and you don't really lose it that hard. Bad Reddit died once. It's fine. And the Dusa, again, Dusa mid versus Quap in terms of last hitting, pretty even. Yeah, you killed the Dusa once, but in turn, they killed Boogie twice top, so, again, landing stage very even so far.
Yep.
My sprites are with us.
See that cleave, Boogie has to stay away. He does have the heal to work with now, and means that he shouldn't really die as easily anymore, even with Happy rotating in. Right now he's been very patient getting the courier here, and that's a big one. Fate's boots.
Bottle.
Well, is the bottle even more important for 9 here, so, well...
And Oliver. I believe those were... Those were Oliver's face boots. Oh, can they kill this? Nah. Shouldn't. But yeah, this is actually a really good kill, but unfortunately, it's not like Fata's in a position to sort of like take advantage of this. You know, usually, if in a better 1v1 matchup, yeah, he could go bottom and be more aggressive because he knows he can.
What?
Boogie again. That's time a solo kill.
I saw it all. Yeah, there was like 2 cleaves, then a toss, and then the tree just jumping in, and we didn't have the heal available. But again in mid, they're gonna try again. 9, core level 6 just yet, and this time no Armen to follow up.
Dire's middle tower.
This one will be fine, but yeah, this top lane is... It's gonna be a scary tiny, isn't it?
Yep. And the question is, what is Ace gonna do with this? You know, is he gonna go for an early blink and try to create space for the rest of the team? I think he has to, because the true carry of this team is gonna be mid one, and he needs to do something with his advantage because the Secret has sort of, I wouldn't necessarily say invested. Oh, top lane. Is he dead?
To go for the rune.
He has a TP, yeah, he can just TP out. Bit awkward.
It's bad, man. Well, at the very least, they should be perhaps able to secure the tower. They have one of their own siege creeps, and Boogie stole the other one. Double catapult, unless it's being respawned into it. We'll secure the tower easy peasy. Now, DNZ and Armen will try again in mid sooner rather than later. Yapsaw sticking around this time. Could be the target instead if they even were together, but Armen. What is he looking for? We'll see the courier, but it does not have nearly enough damage to actually snipe it.
Now they want to make sure they attack from 2 different angles if they do go for this kill, because if they go for one angle, they run the risk of not being able to kill or stun her. But if they attack from 2 angles, it makes it much easier to execute this gank. Okay. They also know the bounty hunters here, so they might just be discouraged to do this overall.
Happy not walking uphill, so you will not see DNZ. Can still stick around, but ultimately it might as well mean just a lot of wasted time. DNZ is not getting anything off of this here, but it looks of it. Especially now if mid one continues dark the tower as he is right now. The wave for it is. Meanwhile up top, Boogie gonna go on him again. Ace.
Even the TP from the outside coming in.
Take the saw him, he picks up a tree, slowed down, avalanche, one cleave, the cast bouncing on this catapult.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It's actually such a bad matchup for the Enchantress because, you know, Enchantress, one of the things that makes her very good in these 1v1s, usually, is because with the Untouchable, it makes it impossible for targets to kill her. Or to hit her, right? But with the cleave... Oh, mid lane.
Low strike missing, mid one.
9 should be fine.
Happy's still running though, DNZ. He's not fine at all. Go down with Fata also.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They're not really connecting with these kind of gangs, and if they can't, then Penta, generally speaking, gonna have a much harder time coming back into the mid game, even if they have the heroes for it. In this game, even questionable, right? You have eventually the Sand King is gonna find himself a blink tag, and now, well, that free kill on the bounty hunter certainly held one way or the other. It's gonna try and deny himself to the ancients, and okay, not quite successful.
It's a bit awkward. Oh, Fata might be going on here.
There it is, Armen. Follow up, there it is, with Earth Splitter, not Earth Splitter. Still, proved to be quite tanky here. Stickshot is also helping out Ace now, he's the one with rotation in. Oliver, no rage, means it's gonna take quite a bit of damage. And another rage coming off cooldown though, with the toss not doing nearly enough damage or being level 1. They do save Fata. They do chase away Oliver. Don't even have to quit
Fata,
much.
Fata really good itemization here. Going for these smaller early items, you know, the infused raindrop, the magic wand, made him too tanky for that gank. Otherwise, it is probably like without that raindrop, it's probably a kill. But just mitigated a lot of damage. Sort of everybody banning this top lane. I guess Boogie is walking back now, but you know, he tried to rotate mid and tried to farm against Dusa. Made it certainly easier than the Tiny.
Yep.
And looks like they're gonna put the Tiny bottom against this Lifestealer now, which is also a good matchup. Usually Lifestealer can trade better against most melee heroes. The Tiny, you know, is sort of like the Monkey King of the melee heroes now, just because of his extended range with the tree and the cleave makes it really difficult to trade with him efficiently.
Yep. Well, for now, he's just farming up the jungle. He has the threads completed, 1200 gold in the bank. Nothing queued up just yet, but yeah. That Blink Dagger makes a lot of sense, as you were mentioning earlier.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Question is,
attack.
oh, Boogie. Gonna go on again. The cast gonna bounce a little bit here to the Sage Creep. Puppy's there as well. So one right click off, another one extra few from mid one, but this time quite enough. And is the whiff of the Metal Deck level 3 already. It's not gonna be fast enough to save him.
I'll take your tribute.
Bit of an issue if your solo lane is this far behind. He's been a bit of a punching bag this entire game. 0-5 and 0 on this Enchantress.
The thing is, though,
Tower is under
it's just the
attack.
Enchantress, right? You just mentioned 0-5 and 0 or whatever, but like the only other death is onto DNZ. Queen of Pain and Lysela are still doing fine. Yeah, the Queen of Pain is behind in terms of net worth, behind the Medusa, but generally speaking, you know, still doing fine. Level 7.5.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
That's all she needs. The Lysela is doing really well, top of the net worth. This is concerning. Yeah, you killed the Enchantress over and over again, but at some point that kill is not going to be really worth it anymore. I mean, it's still a good kill, but ideally you want to kill on these like really big targets now.
Radiant's middle
Return
tower
on
has
something.
fallen.
Puppy looking for another Curious Knight maybe? Can't really skip the creep wave, can he? I guess you can drag them around a little bit, but there's 3 catapults in mid now. Boogie maintaining 2, and they got the extra one there. Looking for a bit of a wraparound in case anyone
Oh, that Mystic Snake.
is anyone defended tier 1, but didn't actually lead into anything with the entirety of Penta's land being committed here. Now Yapso with the ultimate. Boogie he's gonna die again, isn't he? With the Maledicts? Or are the heals enough? Very close
Should
indeed. Might need to
die.
right click this big one. Oh, not quite enough.
Was a cute
It's
idea
Batman,
though.
Yeah.
No, was a cute idea. Bit too obvious from Penta.
Puppy.
They telegraphed this push and gank.
Dire's top
So
tower
that
is under
Bantian
attack.
too.
Surprisingly
Yeah, I
tanky,
think-
Oliver has to pop the Infest Bomb. Sure to kill, but still. Kills a kill, they, as you said, it's only Enchantress,
Dire's top tower
and you get kills and extra money on your cores. Nine not being part of that though, it kind of starts to hurt. He does have the Arcane Root, they really wanted to try and make use of that together with the Sonic Wave, but so far he's still falling further and further behind of the Medusa even.
Yeah, but to be fair, that's to be expected from here on out. Just because it is a Deuce after all, she's gonna always farm quicker than this Queen of Pain is. And I mean, 9 kind of had to TP up here. Like Fata was just pushing and farming this wave uncontested. Took a tower, got a lot of damage onto this tier 2 as well. Just because Penta again, it was too obvious that they were sitting mid because nobody defended top, nobody pushed bottom, and there's just Enchantress Queen of Pain pushing mid. Could something be up? I don't know, man. So, a bit too obvious from them. But I think once they have the blink up on DNZ, and it's not that far away, it's going to be much easier for Penta to try and find those kills because, you know, blink infest is going to be much more effective because you have a bigger range, of course.
Oliver also only has that relic going for his signature build-up with that Radiance. And probably maybe still end up going for some sort of medallion or solar crest in this game. Just anything to help you burst down people and just same time survive in these fights as long as you can. Do that Radiance burn. I don't know if that's the right choice here in this game though, because it still won't really help you if Medusa gets these stone gains off. I mean, mid one hasn't skilled it just yet, but he will eventually, and I don't know. Don't really have easy stuns apart from Blink Burst Strike into the follow-up, but if you don't chain that up properly, or if you don't have enough bursts, if there's any sort of counterplay from Secret, well, Fata's gonna die here now, more than likely. Couple right clicks with the Sonic Wave committed.
As a free ride to the impurities.
I gotta worry.
Yeah.
I've seen enough Medusas just go ham in the late game to not be feeling very confident if I'm Penta.
That is definitely an issue for them. And right now they're not even building towards a proper answer for it anyway. Like, where are the items coming out that deal with the Dusa? Like, the Radiance is I like to build in general, but I'm not sure how much it does against the Dusa. Like, but we'll see, right? We'll see. I think for now, they still have another 10-15 minutes before they, I think, really need to start worrying. They still can execute this mid-game lineup for sure. I mean, they did just find a kill into Fata. They have these sort of 2-3 hero combinations that can go for these cheesy pickoffs here and there with their abilities, even if they have to commit an epicenter for it or so.
Yep.
So if you're Penta, you still don't have to worry too much, but they definitely need those big items coming out now. The Blink only 100 away now, and once that is up, I expect them to smoke up with the not even necessarily with the Lysander, but just Sand King and maybe 2 other heroes.
Worthy tribute.
Find out sooner rather than later. DNC finishing it up now, linking up with RMN as well as 9 up top for the time being. Look at this rotation here, Secret. Don't want to just sit on their asses all day. Poppy continue to scout. Now gonna walk across the river. 9 would be a good target. If you can lock him down though, you don't have necessarily the easiest way to do it unless Ace is already on top. Going back for the Sanji Nasha builds, no quick Blink or Shadow Blade for him.
I think it kind of makes sense because they're not really in a rush at all, or they don't feel pressured. I think if they had felt pressured, maybe he goes for Orb. That's a dead bounty, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh wow, went a little bit too deep here. I was looking at the lasso here coming through, it was Batrider. Well, the final track, they still want that kill. Armin gets a few spells off, but will still not fall into the burst. Oliver taking over. With Radiance completed, gonna be running down Ace, Burst Strike to help. It's a big kill that they were looking for, debated or something. I don't even know. Bata gets a TP out just in the nick of time, so there's nothing left to cancel it. But
yeah, Penta had been setting up
right?
for this. Penta had been setting up for this kill for quite some time. They had the Leshrac sitting in the tree line, and they were basically just waiting for this to happen. Again, I think if they had felt more pressured early on, maybe he goes for that Blink. But I think going for those, carry items, I mean, they can get away with it. Yeah, you just lose 2 heroes or 3 heroes, I guess, and a tower, but I mean, you have a Dusa lineup. Honestly, I don't think you're that concerned at all. I mean, you're not even going to lose a tower, I guess, yeah.
I mean, they might with catapults. He slowed down, though, with the attack speed. It's not him getting another boulder toss out. But yeah. Penta, at the very least, they do a lot of damage. They forced quite a few rotations here. Not sure if they expected this big commitment for tier 1 top. Medusa showing up, and with the lasso on cooldown as well, Fata was not going to be able to find anybody there. But they make it work, they defend. Forcing Penta back. And
Mid-1 playing a little bit
for
aggressively
time,
up
right?
here. Yeah. Mid-1 a little bit aggressive here, especially since Penta, they have really good wards. I like this. These wards.
She finds them.
might
Epicenter being
punish
channeled up.
this, yeah.
All over to follow. Mid-1 does barely get enough land for the Stone Gaze here with the magic wand, but it's not even gonna matter. Not turning in anyone into stone in time. He's feeling very confident, very safe with that ultimate, but yeah. Seems good. That's a really good pick-off. It's a lot of gold for Penta.
I think Mid-1 felt a bit overconfident because Puppy was actually going through the jungle and he saw most of these heroes, walking away from the jungle. I mean, and he saw. I don't think he scouted the Lysol. I think he only saw DNZ. It might have given Mid-1 a little bit of false confidence.
Yep.
But yeah, bottom lane looks like they might go for this shot. No, just take these out. Smart. Nothing to cancel that.
It seems like a Yult or something, but Quap also want that Link can speed up against the lasso, so it's not really worth it.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Boogie not
under
really spending a lot of time looking for creeps. Focusing on this right-click build with like face boots, drums, onto the Hurricane Pike eventually here after the 4-staff. And like if they're walking by a Mud Golem camp, so if they held on a little bit longer, maybe you get that to cancel the TP next time.
But at the same time, even forcing out the TP is already pretty good. You force out the TP and then you pressure the tower.
Fata with a blink. The cast gonna bounce a little bit here, trying to drag them closer together. DNZ will get the burst strike off to cancel. He'll still take out to the Maledict eventually. So forcing in another dust. Boogie tracked up, but you can just stay up at full health. Bit of commitment. Penta only loses support. Guess they can still be happy about that.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like the Sand King. He's pretty much the main sort of ganker in this state of the game right now. Oh,
How can you blink out of that with the Radiance? It takes so long to start ticking, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Oh, but yeah, I don't know. I think if you're Penta, you know, again, you definitely need the Sand King to do anything. And oh,
There it is.
such good awareness from them. Such good awareness from them.
A quick invest bomb.
Didn't really invest too much. They could go and they could go again. I mean, not invest it obviously, but they could smoke up again.
Yep.
Might even go for mid one here. They don't have the vision to really support this. Oh, never mind.
Try
They're going anyway.
being channeled. Oliver. Oh, nice 4-stuff here. Hurricane Pike already. Oliver tanking up that cask.
Double damage.
We'll keep mid one safe and very healthy indeed. So Penta cannot really continue. Nice defensive use of that particular item. Ace up top continue to farm, but looks like Penta, they want to keep going, but Barta's the one finding the initiation on the Enchantress, starting to burn him down. The healing sprites, sure. Maxed out now, so the heals come in much faster, plenty of time for DNC to come in. Follow up onto Fata here with our man, Oliver trying to take over, he's flying across, so Oliver cannot get enough right himself, and now he takes the whole death ward. DNC is sitting there in this. It will find Batroid in the end, somehow.
Turret has been killed.
But
Ace just
at what cost?
killed Fata. Ace just killed Fata by tossing him back onto the lifestealer. Maybe a bit of miscommunication there. Unfortunate, but you know they still get what 2 track kills, I think. So this was still pretty good for them, and they're gonna take a tower out of this as well. And these are the kind of fights that Penta can't afford to have. A bit of greedy fights as well. You know, if you lose the Enchantress there, that's totally fine. But they tried to go back into that and fight Secret, even though they already blew the epicenter. And they knew the Stone Gaze was available. I mean, mid one didn't have to use it, but Stone Gaze was available.
Yep.
So effectively, Penta just tried to find like completely blind uphill as well. I was just quite the mistake.
Yeah, I certainly paid the price for it. At 9, like I keep going back to this Queen of Pain, and I keep seeing him just inching forward in terms of net worth. Even if he's not dying, he's not really getting too many kills either. Now he's dying for sure. Yeah. Caster's Curse, just to say that DNC came in to try and help, does have a life steal inside of him, turning this around onto the Bounty Hunter. And now, ideally they also get Fata as well, but he's pretty damn fast on his fate. I'll cancel Tranquil Boots to just make that a little bit easier, but not gonna be enough with Ace just throwing in the Avalanche.
Good awareness also from Fata, immediately throwing that Flame Break, not to the Lifestealer, but to the Sand King to keep cancelling that Blink.
Yep.
The only way he gets caught out there is if Sand King has Blink available again.
Tower will go down finally. Double Catapult, Edicts, only a little bit of a tanked up. Ace though coming in, immediately bursts on our men. DNC with the burst strike a little bit too late now. Well, Oliver, he's still fighting, trying to bring down Yapzor. Rage will wear off a little bit, and he has a 4-star from the rest of his team to help out, and now Boogie. Well, 5 seconds napalm, Epicenter back available, DNC, burst strike on 2, they can't even turn us here, they bring down Fata. Can't get anything else, so Death Forward, everything is still available for Secret. Another big burst, and all of a sudden it's only Oliver trying to heal himself up on a big old tanky Ace. 9 finally coming in, help finish up that kill. All of a sudden it is Secret for running out of options, so committing that Stone Gaze. Maybe underestimating Penta a little bit.
Yeah, and Penta actually winning that fight in terms of, you know, if you check the team fight recap, they actually get more gold and experience out of this.
Yay.
Because they killed the 2
16 more gold.
I mean, hey, you know, you take any wins you can get at this stage, especially considering how the gold is distributed as well.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you mentioned before that 9 hasn't really been part of these fights, and now he comes in and gets to kill into Ace. That's a huge kill for them, and yeah, okay, you don't get the Dusa kill, or you lose technically 3 heroes as well, but so I think if you're Penta, you're still pretty happy with how the engagement went down, especially since it started off pretty badly. You know, you lost Leshrac in the first second, and you still salvaged the fight by killing the Bad Rider and the Tiny.
I have a question for you. Oh wow,
Go ahead.
Was Direside Courier dead? I mean, just came out of the ground, and I missed his icon, but I didn't actually see him dead on the bottom right.
I did not see that either, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Puppy is hunting again for the Courier. He's thirsty. I mean, he's playing the bounty. I mean, you know, after spending so much time with Paladai, you start figuring out the ways of the bounty hunter. You know, you just spend time hunting.
Blink Lasso onto DNC. Bring down a big control factor immediately with extra combo from Ace, but 9 and Oliver, they want to trade. Ace brought down, has to fight into the death ward though. The stun just short here on the RV Absol. That means Penta have to turn around. We'll be alright. Infest into 9. Don't quite get the counter kill, but at least don't lose anything else. Lincoln Spear now completed. Puppey forced away from his position, so Courier actually found a way through without being picked off.
And he gets the...
Gets him on the way
yeah,
back though.
that's,
That was the Sanj on it.
That was still something, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Yapso pretty high level for support, level 14 already. And that just means that his heal is so effective. Ooh, it's a dead Fata.
Try to TP out
be
again,
expected.
but at this point the damage is there to dispel the TP in the most satisfying way possible through death. Penta, they're looking for more here, trying
So
to
bad.
build some extra momentum. They see Yapsor in there. Boogie can slow him down, but well, they'll see him on the high ground. Puppey being in the middle of that, the cast will stop bouncing. Extra slows, couple right clicks on the Puppey. Did I have detection for him? I do not believe so. Oliver now has to play up against mid once he comes into the fray. 9 actually gets turned to the stone, now slowed down by the fresh Scotty. Gets the blink out only just. They've lost Boogie already. Arman slowed down. Okay, that Slingwave actually clips Puppey in the end. 9 with another blink out. Epicenter being channeled as DNZ comes in with a burst strike. Focusing on the Absol. Much easier target. He's still trying to continue Kaiju on mid one. Ace looking for more though. 9 forced to blink out again. Another burst strike to
gets
maybe
the kill
finish
into
off
the
Yetzel.
Lifestealer.
Not quite though. Lifestealer. What? How?
I am not quite sure. I don't think he had Maledict on him. I don't think he had Maledict on him. I mean...
He died
I
back
guess
in
it must have been,
base.
yeah. He died back in base. He definitely completed the TP. It must have been Maledict, but at least it didn't look like he had it on him. Either way, disastrous shot for Penta yet again. You want to know why? Because they fought without vision. Obviously, they were forced into the fight in the first place because Bounty Hunter scouted them out, and you know they started with the Alps or Cask. But again, they fight completely into a secret without any vision. They blink low ground they blink low ground on 9's Queen of Pain, and he gets stoned up. Actually, has to count as lucky stars if he doesn't die there. Could have been even worse for them, honestly. If the Queen of Pain dies, it wouldn't have taken much for her to die there. So, a bit sloppy from them to take these fights where they don't have the vision. I mean, it's not like Secret has the vision either, but with Track they can make the vision happen.
Yeah. They're just feeling a little bit too confident, just getting that one kill on Fata, but he's not by far the only problem that Penta have. Even without his initiation picking somebody off, he's still having to deal with a very fun Medusa. That's impossible to go on. So as soon as mid-1 enters the fight, you have to run away from him and try and either stay alive or kill everyone else first. Also gonna be hard. I mean, there's a 4-7 on Yapso, so he's even more kiting potential against the Lifestealer. Tiny isn't exactly squishy either. And even Bounty Hunter, Puppey, proving to be quite annoying with just the invis. And the only reason he died there was because the Sonic Wave just barely clipped him.
Yeah. I think the priority in these team fights for Penta has to be the Yapso Witch Doctor. He provides so much sustain with his Voodoo Restoration and with the Spirit Vessel as well. I mean, there was a full Epicenter channeled onto mid-1's Dusa, and he only went through most of his mana. I don't think he lost much health during that.
Yep.
It's just so much to go through, and if you have the Voodoo Restoration on top, virtually impossible to kill the Dusa without dropping all the ultimates. Puppey just casually dispels the smoke, and the dust is just 2 seconds too late.
Bounty Hunter Gaming, ladies and gentlemen, and he's looking for the courier.
And they still
again.
ship out the courier, come on.
Well, it's only a bit of utility on him, but it's Oh, they see him with the ward.
Alright. That's
They're protecting against that, yeah.
Puppey's he just scouted out where the sentry is as well. That was really funny.
Oh man, he doesn't have the dust to work with. He sees Puppey. Oh, courier. So be careful with the shield. Down bottom at the same time though. All these supports battle up against each other. Burst strike here onto Fata. Gets a lasso off on Lifestealer. He's still be clicked down by Boogie. TP through from Puppey comes in. They have to run away from that one though. 1-4 on trade already. Oliver down to super low health. Another rage only in 5 seconds. And well, Enchantress doesn't have that same luxury. Oliver Infest comes right back out. Wants to get the kill on Puppey. Alright. Now, can you continue to retreat? The answer is no. Ace for the triple kill after that extra blink. And this is not boding well for Penta. We're getting to that point where it's not even just Medusa. Look at Ace. He has a blink, Sanjin Yasha, Soul Cuirass. He's hitting hard, and you're not killing him either. Without casting all ultimates.
this time around, you can't even blame Penta for trying to take the fight. They actually have really good vision here, and they had 2 wards here, so they kind of knew what they're getting into. They also knew the Bounty Hunter was there, but at the same time, they tried looking for a fight without the Leshrac there. That's actually a huge part of their teamfight control, hitting that second stun after the burst strike is committed.
Yep.
And I mean, they took Sand King immediately out of the equation, and suddenly Penta really wasn't able to fight anymore. So this is something that, I mean, again, I do think it was a much better fight this time around, just because they had the vision there. But without the Leshrac, it's difficult.
Yep.
I guess fortunately for them, they, I guess quote unquote only lose Aegis. Could be worse. They could have lost towers potentially because they take a fight that deep inside the enemy jungle. They don't really lose any towers.
Actually, still have quite a few of them up. Even tier 1 in the bottom lane is still very much healthy. So they do have that map control to just find the farm, to just try and get up to the next set of items. But I'm not sure if it's gonna make too much of a difference. 9, he has that Shiva's Guard queued up, which is going to be useful, but I'm not sure if it's the one that they need. Push these team fighters over yet.
He definitely needs it. He is too squishy right now for to do so. I mean, I say that even though he has what, 27 armor already.
They're gonna try Infest Burst Strike onto 2. Bounty Hunter not gonna be the target. They want to try and bring down Yapso, this pesky Witch Doctor. They will be successful. At the same time, they did lose Poppy. In the same spot, the ultimate coming through to finish up Poppy. 9. Gets the secondary kill. Both supports down the drain. Fata. For trade though, Blink Lasso onto Dino. He's gonna be bursted down. Ace comes back in, mid one. That's the big wall that you cannot get across. 9 forced to blink out. Boogie's blinking to the right hand side. Didn't even get him here, Fata. Good slow down. Another blink. Ace just too late. Did have a toss, but no avalanche anyway.
Still not too bad for Penta. They trade both supports for supports, obviously, but I think that's fine at this stage. You know, they had Yapsor. Look at him. He has higher net worth than the Enchantress. I mean, just slightly higher, but still. Yeah. So this is actually a really important kill to get, and going forward, they just have to keep getting Yapsor in those fights. I mean, even that one fight that they lost in the jungle just now, you know, where they had the good vision, it was still, Yapsor was in the backline, healing up, and just throwing out his death ward. They need to get to him first in those engagements, and obviously it's not, I mean, I say it, but it's really difficult, because his positioning is really good, and they always make sure that they have, like, the cores in front of him as well. So if they want to get to him, they have to go past other people, and it's not easy, for sure.
So far, Penta at the very least keeping themselves in the game, but for how long? They need to try and go for these blink kills. I don't think they saw Poppy here, but he in turn scouts at Boogie.
They need to start carrying a gem soon, because Poppy just ruined 2 ganks, like the smoke gank mid, and this gank now. Like, this should have been a kill onto Fata, potentially, or even Bounty Hunter at the very least, but just because they don't have the gem right now, they can't really scout it out. And because Bounty Hunter scouts everybody, they just can't take a tower for free bottom, they can push out the other lanes, and they don't get anything. Or Penta don't get anything.
This DNZ gonna go on him here. Life steal popping out. Popping, gonna half health, but do they have detection for him? Well, do they need it? That's the next question here, and yeah, they have the dust anyway. Although finishes that kill, DNZ is still alive, but now Yapsor coming into play. Mid one from the shrine. Oliver isolated from the rest of his team. Yapsor will finish up our man solo, more or less. Now the ult's up. Alright, so Boogie is there. Can start to right click away a little bit. Meanwhile, 9 just playing with his Witch Doctor, trying to burst him with the ultimate, with the Sonic Wave. Will be enough. Another infest here onto DNZ. Penta. Very cohesive here. They get 2 kills, only trade for 1. Lasso is down, and DNZ can go for Fata. Way too far forward here. He will fall as well. Oh well, he ults up to buy himself a little more time. DNZ will be right click down as mid-one comes in. But I don't think he can really catch up to these calls, even with his Guardi.
And bottom lane, Ace is trying to bait Enchantress into farming this creep wave. Oh, Boogie almost took the bait. Almost took the bait.
He's still gonna die, isn't he?
No,
maybe not.
he shouldn't.
The burst. Not quite enough at this point. So he can by giving him some distance, and now Ace. 9 is coming in. At the Shivas, trying for some vision. They see him inside the trees. Another combo available in a second. Boogie after enough health. Oliver also coming through. They're gonna run down Ace.
Yeah, this is
new life for Penta, just given by the secret, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. That engagement where Bad Rider jumps the Sand King, I mean, he should have known that was going to be an infested Sand King.
Yeah.
And even if it hadn't been, I mean, it's the Sand King still. It's not an easy target for the two to kill. It was a bit greedy for sure. And then Ace doesn't TP back to join the fight, but instead split pushes, which I think is fine. But then he dies just now because he's overextends for an Enchantress kill. Bit sloppy from Secret, but at the end of the day, you still have the Dusa. You know, Dusa has been untouched for, well, 30 minutes almost.
It might very well be the story of this game. Like, Penta, they're fighting, they're getting kills, but Medusa.
Oh, 9 blinked in.
Ooh. The 4-staff out here from Boogie.
I'll take your tribute.
Dusa now level 25, by the way. So if they ever group up again, he's just gonna slow them all with his Skadi.
It is just expired. 3 minutes until the next Roche may respawn. Boogie,
Oh,
look
that's
at that
Boogie.
damage! Ouch!
That's not
Yapso
even
snagging it.
anymore.
Like, but damn, that was... How much was that? 2,124 in like, what, 2-3 seconds? It felt like.
Disgusting. Disgusting for sure. Oh,
Gonna try, Oliver.
Gets scouted
Walking
out as
in.
well.
Mid one doesn't even care, look at this. I'm just gonna get the tower, and I'm gonna right click. Epicenter being channeled up from the high ground, so Oliver's gonna get some help. That gets the ultimate off. Both of them to stone, fast off away. It feels so bad, man.
And getting fully healed again. Yapzor with the Spirit Vessel and the Voodoo Restoration. Oh, suddenly mid one is full HP again. In the meantime, they killed our men.
As well, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's true. That's why they publish right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the meantime, they kill our men. 3-man track kill for them as well. It's just not looking good for Penta right now. Yeah, they, you know, in these skirmishes, they kill pretty much anybody, but they just never touch the Dusa, and that's a big problem.
They also can, even if they win like the skirmish, they can't touch Medusa, so mid one comes in, they still have to run. Same for Ace almost, unless he's completely isolated like we saw earlier, so even if they do that, they can never turn this into objectives. So eventually this game is going to tilt in favor of Team Secret, unless they get the kill on Medusa, then you have some more room to work with. Maybe they can't do it now. Mid one, Ace is right next to him though. Ooh, this smoke will break. Ace looking to try and burst him down. 1 or 2 more right clicks. Gets the heals off. The 3 almost enough to bring him down. At the very least, is forced it in. The rest of Team Secret, which means, well, DNZ does not go in to kill himself and Oliver.
What I really don't like from Penta is that they commit only 3 heroes for this. And if I feel like even if they find somebody, unless it's, I mean, yeah, even if they find somebody, do they definitely get the kill without trading? Because the way Secret's playing, they're never really like split, right? We saw Ace split maybe once. Bottom there is trying to split push, and maybe the Bad Rider, but generally speaking, there's always a support close by. The Dusa's, you know, generally very much around her team as well. So even if they find a kill there, they probably trade it very inefficiently. So I'm not sure why they just don't commit more heroes for this. I know they're pushing out the waves on these other heroes, but I feel like they just have to commit to something with like 5 heroes.
Well, we commit to a base defense with 5 heroes. Down bottom, Armen's pushing it a little bit. DNC still has life still inside of him. And it's been his home for the last minute or so inside that Sand King. Eventually they'll have to TP back and defend though as soon as Secret pull the trigger, but it looks like they just want to control this area of the map. It's still tier 2 to take, much easier, much safer to do, and then you can look towards Roshan. It will respawn in a minute. Then with Aegis and Cheese in the lineup, between the mid one and Ace, it's really hard to see how Penta can even kill them twice, and having trouble killing them once.
Fata might be the target here. Again, it's the reaction time.
Do I get it? Now, that's on Sand King. Nah, not necessary.
Getting completely outplayed there. This is, I mean, you pointed out earlier, how much time did they just waste for this one gank, right? They just, the Lysler sat inside the Sand King for 2 or 3 minutes, and Boogie is also dead.
4 staff back, but immediately 4 staff forward from mid one to just stay in range.
Well, with this, I wouldn't be surprised if they either took Roche or just went high ground. Roche is not up, so they can't have to come high ground. Actually, do they know that Roche is not up? I mean, I guess.
This is helpful. Yep, so will die, maybe. Oliver, come on. Big Charger's made 1 more right click necessary, but Oliver's being
9
faster.
might be dead here, though.
Oh, that is a much bigger kill. Gets a blink out. Oh, mid one though. So mobile here with the butterfly, face boots, 4-star. Our men caught on the outside as well. Penta just dropping one by one. And that's GG now with Ace in front. Medusa also doing a lot of power damage. You do have all of it. You do have 9, but you're about to not have all of it anymore. Could be slowed down despite the rage. Will expire too. Ace with lockdown. 9 gets a blink back, but no buyback on anyone.
Tower is under attack.
Then the creep wave coming in. Fresh tree on Ace. Yeah. You have Blink Epicenter Burrow Strike. You have the Sonic Wave.
Has fallen.
I don't think you try this. I think you need those spells for a fight with the Lysander, because you're not gonna kill anybody with that. I mean, yeah, you kill maybe the bounty hunter with
80
it.
seconds. Secret can easily go for mega creeps, yeah. Once they realize that lifesteal doesn't allow buyback.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
One doesn't care, blink forward, 4-star forward, boogie. This time not quite enough. Ace though, he'll be able to finish that off. Now they hear it down without buyback. The racks fall in the meantime. Can make a beeline straight for the bottom.
Has fallen.
That's exactly what they're doing. Even without the agents, mid one feels like he is unstoppable, and I concur. Split shot using modifiers. There it is. They're gonna try. They have to. Force off away though from the epicenter. With the Orchid, with the silence. Actually gonna burst him down, so this is a good start. Ace looking to try and take over. BKB on cooldown still though for a couple of seconds, so Secret. Maybe a little bit too confident here. Penta. Make that work with the amount of burst somehow, but yeah. Not sure if the Orchid was revealed earlier. I think that was what made the difference there.
Definitely caught them off guard a little bit. Mid one was kind of alone. There wasn't really any backup there at all.
Shrine is under attack.
Or at the very least, the backup took a little bit too long to respond. But I mean, if you're Secret, you're still fine with this. You just took 2 lanes of racks without.
Oh no.
Dire's bottom shrine
Yeah.
has fallen.
Don't keep your shrine. That is a bad idea. That anyway now, so.
Well, it's looking really rough for Penta. I'm trying to think of ways for Penta to get back into this fight, into this game, but against a team like Secret, I feel like it's. I'm not gonna say it's impossible, but it definitely needs Secret to make mistakes here as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if they even force a buyback here from mid one to take this Roshan. I don't think you want to give them the Aegis here.
Not sure you need to. I mean, be inside the pit a little bit here with the flame to expand. Not right now, though.
Actually, yeah, their damage. Oh well, I don't know. They could definitely take Roshan before Dusa comes back.
It's coming through. He sees Iron Man on side. Try and burst him down. He's still alive though. Nature's attendance helping him out a little bit longer, but a big old tree still coming through. Boogie, look at his burst damage. Now the lasso onto Oliver, keeping him away. So it's down to 9 to do some damage. Find Puppy. They also already brought down Yapsor. So it's still a good fight for Penta. 2 for 1 trade. Supports for support. Mid one though, well, that's all they wanted. Bought enough time for Medusa to spawn naturally. Don't really care about the support lies at this point, so with these 2 heroes, Tiny and Medusa, they will be able to finish up Roshan themselves. Penta only forced back into their own base. Mission accomplished. Age is now in the hands of Medusa. Ace holding on to the cheese. Even arcane wood bottles. Not sure how useful that's gonna be, but I guess low cooldowns on the task.
Dire's
Avalanche
top
combo.
shrine is under attack.
This is not looking good for Penta.
That's 34k net worth advantage. This is
Yeah, that one Roshan, or this Roshan fight, if they had won that without the Dusa, maybe I think it looks much better. You know, if they win it without the Dusa, maybe even get the Roshan. But so, no.
Easy's there though. Blink Burst targeting everybody.
Yes,
Mid
buyback.
one. Never mind. Both of them have it. That's the only reason they're this far out. But yeah, I mean, statistically, you don't come back from this game with disadvantage. I don't believe this has ever happened in Pro Dota. Ace coming through, looking to burst down another one. There it is. Armen getting that much of an impact in this particular fight. D&D with a burst strike. Now Ace already forced out Eat the Cheese. That's good. But Oliver turned to stone here in the front lines for a little bit. Looking to try and focus on the support staff 9. Also super low. Couple of Napalm stacks. Gets the ultimate off, but no spell lifesteal means he'll take out Oliver. Well, in front lines, nothing else he can offer. GG, well played is called. And Team Secret, Game 1 victory.
Dire's bottom barracks has fallen.
Secret just the sort of more experienced team, I think, and you could definitely tell Penta took a bit sloppy, maybe 2 hectic fights trying to force a couple of things I do think there are a lot of good things in this Penta and this game for Penta. Definitely, we've definitely seen some really good recovery, sort of like pickups, or ganks, I suppose. But in those team fights, they just never really found the right target. They definitely had to kill Yapso in those team fights, have the proper vision, and I guess obviously, the laning stage is also something that we have to look at that didn't really go into their favor. I mean, Boogie getting destroyed in that lane. I've not felt his impact in this entire game whatsoever. And it's not necessarily his fault. It's just, the hero, if you get destroyed like that in the early game, it's difficult to come back in the mid game as well, especially if your team doesn't do well. So,
well, it is what it is, and it didn't really feel like this Penta that we see when they're on form, where they get everything going. But right now, it's still very dependent on the early game going well. If they don't have that, then they're having a really hard time playing from behind, especially with lineups like this. But still held on for as long as they could. Team Secret ended up being having the better draft for these situations and the better execution, as you said. Alright, that was only game number 1. Penta Sports will have one more chance to tie up the series and see what they can do after that. Up against Team Secret. Certainly a tall task ahead. That'll be Breaky bringing you that game though, going forward. He finally woke up, so I'm gonna say goodbye. Thank you guys very much for watching. And again, follow us on Twitter at DragonDropDota, at ScameGaming. See you next time.